What's up, everybody? Listen, tonight we're dealing with a winning attitude. I need every one of you. Before I even get into this, I need you to literally bring in your squad, share, invite, tag, bring somebody in the room because I'm telling you, I've been studying about this winning attitude just for some time, and I've really been motivating myself to move beyond circumstances. And I think, even in my time of devotion and prayer, the Lord told me, he said, listen, you have to encourage people to change their attitude. Change their attitude. So today we're going to be dealing with a winning attitude. Now, again, I need you to share. I need you to invite. And thank you for tuning in, of course, to Mondays with Maze. I shared with you before that I'm going to do my best to come on every week. I believe that God has literally fashioned in the earth so many great personalities. I mean, we have so many great personalities in the earth, so many great sense of humor, so much creativity, so many great ideas. I mean, just some brilliant minds in the earth, right? And how do we get to a place where those brilliant minds, those creative individuals, those forward thinkers start to think like losers? I need all of you to really park in right here because there's so many people that are going to be set free. And, we live in a time now where suicide is really high, and depression is on the rise. And there's so many questions and aggravations and frustrations. Young people are operating in spirits of depression like never before. I believe that it's more than just having a 12-step program, not to think or not to say that they're not helpful. It's more than just having a life coach, not to think or not to say that they're not helpful. It's more than just having a revival or a church service. All of those things are very helpful. But I think what we really need is an attitude adjustment. Now, I know the life coach, the church service, and all of those places and people help us with that, but they cannot force us to have one. That has to be something that we take upon ourselves and make a personal and a purposeful effort in doing. An attitude adjustment. A bad attitude can cause a lot of things to happen that can be detrimental to a future, a person, or a destiny. And I think I shared this. I don't know if it was at Bible study or maybe even Sunday. Many of you can go back to our YouTube page and look at In My Feelings. And I shared with how two individuals can grow up in the same environment, but the results of their lives can be totally different because their attitudes towards what they went through may be different. Now, they may have felt the aggravation, they may have felt the pain, they may have gone through the same situation, but their attitude towards it, how they combat it, how they deal with it, will determine the outcome of that situation. So the one thing that you have to realize is that attitudes are contagious. Attitudes are very contagious. And the reason why I know that is because a person with a bad attitude can cause a whole room to feel dark. A person with a bad attitude can sway 5, 10, 20 people against an individual. A person with a bad attitude can become so poisonous that people may not even want to be around them, but that spirit becomes very contagious. Just like someone with a good attitude. I've seen people walk in heavy rooms, and because they had such a positive attitude and because they had such a jovial spirit, it literally lifted up the room. That's why many people, when they want to have a good time or they want to have their feelings to turn from bad to good, they call a specific person. Well, when they want to do just the opposite, they call another person. So I want all of you to realize this, that even in this season, I have to watch what type of attitude I allow around me. I have to watch what type of attitude I tell my visions to, I tell my dreams to, I tell my goals to. Are y'all getting what I'm saying? I have to watch that because it's very contagious. And the reason why I know that, matter of fact, we're going to dig in the Bible, 1 Corinthians 15. I want you to go there, 1 Corinthians 15. And while we're going there, I want you to really ponder and ask yourself, how's my attitude? How was my attitude towards life? How was my attitude towards my situations? How's my attitude towards adversity? Because your attitude, and I know it may sound corny because we've heard it so long, determines your altitude, but your attitude is a powerful commodity. Listen, I have experienced this for myself, where people did not have probably the requisite skills or may not have fit the bill from a talent perspective, but from an attitude perspective, they got the job, the door was open, and what they lacked in, the people were willing to work with them because their attitude was good. And I saw just the opposite. People who were so gifted, so talented, but they either could not keep a job, because their attitude was nasty. And their attitude was really, really bad. Now, in 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 33, it says, be not deceived, evil communication corrupts good manners. That's why gossiping, you can say whatever you want to say, gossiping is a worse spirit than more spirits than you could ever imagine. I know we like to really rank sins, which I think is sinful. But gossiping is such a corrupt spirit because it's like a habit that a bad spirit doesn't want to break. You know, we get caught up into hearing everybody's dirt and hearing everybody's garbage, and we think that we're doing something productive, but the conversation is so corrupt, but yet it feels and hears and sounds and spiritually is embraced because it sounds so good, and it's feeding the craving that we keep on entertaining it. But it's corrupt. Gossiping is always corrupt. If you sit down and talk negative about someone without trying to find or get a solution, it's not venting, it's gossiping. And that is very intoxicating, but that does not promote the winning attitude. Okay, so when I communicate with individuals, and not just gossiping, but when I communicate with individuals and I'm communicating with you about what God said, and you're shooting it down and you're saying, well, I don't believe God said it. Ultimately, if I continue to listen to you, I'll believe what you said. Because anything that's contrary to what the word of God is, regardless of what type of nice mouth it came out of, it's corrupt. I don't care if you're the bishop. I don't care if you're the pastor. I don't care if you're the evangelist. I don't care if you're the closest thing to God. If you are combating what God said, that is corrupt, and it counteracts the winning attitude. All right. Now jump quick over to Proverbs 27, because I'm going to give you three things that you need to understand and that you need to have in order to have that winning attitude. Now, I hope you all go back and you look at these videos again so that you can be empowered the more, so that you can be reminded. We have a few other Mondays with Maze that may still be on my website, on my Facebook page or on my YouTube page. Check it out. You still have, listen, go subscribe to my YouTube page. If you have not subscribed there, go subscribe there. You find me at Maze Warren Jr. Follow all of our pages, all of those things, so we can stay connected. We can stay connected. Go to our website, mazewarrenjr.org. I'm excited about being able to communicate with you. Sign up to receive emails from us. Just connect so that I can continue to encourage and enlighten you. Proverbs 23:7, it says, for as he thinketh in his heart, 23:7, so is he. So that leads us to the first thing that I want to say. You'll become everything or what you think. Write that down. You will become a person with the winner's attitude. Understands, listen to me, that I become what I think. I become what I think. Yeah, I become what I think. So as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The reason why a cat doesn't bark is because he knows or he thinks he's a cat. The reason why a dog doesn't meow, because he knows he's a dog. It does not matter what other people say. It does not matter. When you begin to assume a thought pattern of victory, then your life lines up with the thought pattern. Even though certain seasons may seem like it takes forever to get through, and you may deal with challenges, you may cry, you may deal with pains and hurts, but if you begin to think like a loser, man, y'all got to hear this. If you begin to think like a loser, then your life follows that path. My question to you is, how are you thinking? How are you thinking about your family, your finances, your faith? We live in a time now where people, they join groups and they put down the church. So now everything about the church becomes negative. People get together and they put down men, they put down women, they put down their job. Notice, if you ever find somebody complaining about the job, the people around them is doing the same thing, are doing the same thing. If you ever find somebody complaining about the church, and it's a pressure. It's a pressure because now when that person who likes the job comes in the lounge, they feel uncomfortable. They are ostracized for telling everyone in the lounge, I love my job. So instead of praising their job, they keep silent because they cannot deal with the pressure from the losers. That's why I tell people this all the time. The people who, I know some of you may not agree, but the people who may not publicly support you, it's not that they don't like you or not even love you. They just lack the spine to show it. And they would rather not receive the backlash. And they would rather be accepted by the whole than hated by the majority. That's how it is in church. That's how it is with people with you. I know that's how it is with folk with me. That's how it is with people on jobs. That's how it is. That we call them chameleon spirits. You know, they want to be loved by everybody. They want to be liked by everybody. So what happens is, So they would say, you know what? I'm just going to stay out of it. I'm not going to support whatever. Or you have the people who may be moved just by the majority. I know I should be supporting her. I know I should be loving him, but I'll do it privately because if I do it publicly, it'll bring me so much stuff. You don't have a winning attitude. You have a loser's mentality because the loser and that individual knows for a fact that I am going to move at the pace of the corruption. I am going to move. The loser says, I'm going to move at the pace of the people who are setting it for me. But a winner says that I got to run in this lane by myself. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Y'all may not like the job, but I'm going to come to my job and do my work every day. And while you all are complaining, next year I'll be your supervisor. Are y'all listening to me? Y'all may not like what's going on and y'all complaining, but while you're complaining, we're building. We're moving forward. Y'all may not like it, but while y'all complaining, I'm in my class making straight A's. And listen, I'm feeling the same amount of pressure because guess what? I got to clock in the same time you have to clock in. The boss that pushes you all push me too. The class assignment that you have to do in the 8th grade, I have to do because some of your kids may be watching this. I have to do it as well. The church drama that you have to deal with, I have to deal with as well. Watch this. But while you're complaining about it, oh, I can't wait till I get to point number 3. While you're complaining about it, I'm doing something about it. Are y'all getting this? Just type it in again or type it in if you have not. I become what I think. I become what I think. All right. The second thing that you have to see is I always have to believe what's coming is better than what's been. What's coming is always better than what's been. That's the winner's attitude. That's the winning attitude because I can't always wake up haunted by the possibility of failure. I can't always wake up in my own imagination or my own imagined haunted house. You follow what I'm saying? I'm walking through the hallways of my future afraid because I'm traumatized, I'm worried. I can't. And I have to invite optimism in. I have to invite faith in. I have to invite, this will work out for my good. I got to invite that in. I know a lot of you, I don't want to be a spoiler, man, but I like this little show. It's on Netflix, Manifest. My wife, we finished it. We're getting ready to, hopefully they start the 4th season. Have y'all ever seen Manifest? Manifest. Listen, if you have not seen Manifest on Netflix, you have to see it. I don't consider it a religious show, even though they talk about callings and they bring up God and they just jack up Romans 8:28. You got to see it. You'll know what I'm talking about. But there are certain individuals in that show that will not settle with a certain outcome. I'm going to say it like this because I don't want to be a spoiler. They won't settle with a certain outcome. There are other individuals that will settle with an outcome. And the ones that will settle with the outcome, they end up one way. And the ones that won't settle with the outcome, they keep fighting until they see the outcome they want. I'm just going to leave it there. You got to go see Manifest to know what I'm talking about. But let's reel it back in. If I always expect what's coming to be better than what's been, I keep fighting for what I believe in my tomorrow. Now, that's an attitude. Okay, something happened bad today. Well, tomorrow's going to be better. So guess what? I'm not dying in what I'm in right now. Found out I was diagnosed with something, going through family issues, lost my job. Well, tomorrow it's going to be better. So now I lost my job, found out I was diagnosed with something. I can't die today because I'm believing God. Now, I know the Bible says take no thought for tomorrow. That's talking about worrying about tomorrow. It's not talking about expecting God in tomorrow. I want to make sure we make that plain. Worrying about tomorrow is one thing. Expecting God to do something in tomorrow is another. So I'm not worried about tomorrow. I'm expecting God. Because if he wanted us to take no thought for tomorrow, in totality, he would not say weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. He would not tell Haggai about a lad of glory. But when he says take no thought about tomorrow, he's talking about staying up stressing about what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear, and all that kind of stuff. But God is saying that you are going to have to believe me for a better tomorrow if you won't have a winning attitude. Some of us, listen, I have been through things, whether caused by me or not, that I look at people and be like, listen, you crying about that little mess? You really tripping about a person on your job not liking you? You're really tripping about somebody not speaking to you? Man, can we switch problems? You know what? No, forget that. No. We can't switch problems because if we switch problems, then we got to switch promises. No. I take that back. I don't want to switch problems with you because if we switch problems, we got to switch promises. No, and God has given me too much in the promise field for me to switch my problems with anybody. Okay, so I gotta always believe for a better tomorrow. Job 42:10. I know we've been on here about 19 minutes, so I won't be too much longer. Is this blessing you? Somebody give me a warning. This is blessing you. And listen, I want to remind you, this is my personal ministry. So I need you to go sow into it. Go to mayswarrenjr.org, sow your seed. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Go to Cash App, MW Ministry, sow your seed. I want you to sow your best seed into our ministry. So much my wife and I are going to be doing. And listen, last Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesdays with the Warrens, that's every week as well. Did y'all like that? If you didn't like it, okay. But if you did, I thank God for you. If you didn't catch it, go check it out. Every Wednesday, we're going to be doing Wisdom Wednesdays with the Warrens. And we're having fun doing it. I thank God for it. All right. But go sow right now. Go sow. So much we're going to do. Job 42:10 says that Job got double for his trouble and saw generations. Well, if Job did not, and I know he complained, I know he had his moments of lament, but you can't tell me Job didn't keep fighting because He didn't have a winning attitude. And just because you have a winning attitude don't mean you don't complain to God about stuff. But you didn't see Job have a dinner complaining to people. You didn't see Job talking to messy church people, trying to find social media wasn't there. But you know how we do. We find self-help groups that are not self-help groups. I'm telling you. You know what I told God? I said, God, listen, I want to be a healthier version of me. I will be a healthier version of me. I want people to be able to check the company that I hang with and determine even from that he's in a safe place. There were people that I was connected to, hanging with, sinning with, doing everything under the sun with. And watch this now. There could be nothing coming out of that good. You too, people you were hanging with, sinning with. And I don't understand how people look at that and think anything good can come out of sinful relationships, sinful connections. There's nobody to blame. We don't need to blame nobody. Listen, I think what we have to understand is that if it's corrupt, it can't be healthy. If it's corrupt, there can have no future in it. So I don't care how much you date. If you're screwing each other's brains out, there cannot be anything healthy about it if it's sinful. I don't care how much you preach, sir, how much you preach, ma'am. If you don't get your heart right, your life right, I'm talking about myself and anybody else, there can be no future in it. You got to get that part right before there can be a healthy future in it. I don't care about what you make other people believe and how you played this and played that and listen, I'm telling you what I know. And I know people may be fooled in thinking people have changed or people have adjusted because they cry a lot, or because they play the victim, or because they got more people supporting them, or because they got fired and everybody worried about them. No, I'm telling you, you have to recognize the importance of adjusting your attitude, changing your habits, changing your patterns, changing your life, and then you can expect God to do something better in the future. And this is, listen, we all got our issues. I'm telling you what I know, man. It's a fight every day. It's a fight every day. The Bible makes it very plain. We live in a body, in a flesh that wants us to do everything but the will of God. So I'm not talking to you only. I'm talking to me and everybody else that's watching. And right here, this is the thing I want to park with. I love this one here because it has helped me. A winning attitude. That person with a winning attitude is most creative when it's challenging. I'm going to just read you two things you probably know already. Y'all know about Benjamin Franklin. He said, I didn't fail the test. I just found 100 ways to do it wrong. You didn't fail it. He said he found 100 ways to do it wrong. And then, see, I got to get all that extra. You're embarrassed because of the relationships you've had. Don't be embarrassed. Just say, I found out however many times how to do a wrong relationship. Now I finally found the right one. Don't be embarrassed that you dropped out of school, or you're 40, 30, 50 years old going back to college. Don't be embarrassed. I finally did it right after all those times doing it wrong. Don't be embarrassed. You're on your third or fourth business and you feel like a habitual entrepreneur. No. That business showed me that wasn't the area that I was called to work in. An inventor fails 999 times. And if he succeeds once, he's in. He treats his failures simply as practice shots, says Charles Kettering. It's just practice shots. Man, listen, last Sunday, and I know everybody who knows me knows I am a Packers diehard, right? Packers diehard. Last Sunday, think I'm already getting gray hair. I want to dye it. My wife doesn't want me to dye it. I'm already getting gray hair. I think like it started growing more during that Packers game. We were supposed to win the game in, I think, regulation, I believe. The kicker, Crosby, missed the kick. I believe that's how it happened. Went to overtime, right? I think we got an interception. And it said the next score wins the game. He missed another kick. Then we got the ball back. Now watch this. He missed 2 kicks that were close. Then we got the ball back. And it was another opportunity for him to win the game. Watch this. But the kick was even farther. And he made it. Now, I'm happy they won. It stressed me out. My wife and I were in here screaming. But I'm telling you, when it's most challenging, I've learned how to do so much because I was challenged. And that's why God says, I'm going to move you to a place of challenge, whether it's moving people out of your life, whether it's making you start new careers, whether it's moving people who you depended on out of the way. It's not that they were no good. They were great. The job was great. You want to know what it was? You weren't. Yeah. Let's just be honest. They were great. Nothing. They were good. They were great people. You weren't. So I need to move certain ones out of the way. And guess what? When you do it, it's going to be better. Man, listen. I wish I could go a little longer, you all. I wish I could go a little longer, but I love you. I appreciate you so much. Listen. Cue the music. There it is. All right. Now I need you to sow. As I said, sow into the ministry, MaysWarrenJr.org. I need you to go to the Cash App. I need you to follow us, follow my wife. She's an anointed vessel, I'm telling you. Just a lot that we have going on, and I can't wait. We're always talking about just doing more in the kingdom. And my wife, I believe in next month, we'll be having a big announcement. Huge announcement. So we're going to release the cat out of the bag in about a month. I'm telling you, you got to stick around. I love you all. Have a great day on God. Go sow, be blessed, forward, share. But I got to get out of here.